You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 29th of January. PM Modi says India is on reform express as economic survey tabled. Saudi Arabia and India condemn Pahalgam Red Fort terror attacks. And minorities in Bangladesh allege widespread persecution, demand action. And now for all the details. On the second day of the budget session of the Indian Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday praised the India-EU trade deal, describing it as free trade for ambitious India, for aspirational youth and for Atmanirbhar India. Addressing the media ahead of the session, PM Modi declared that India is on board the Reform Express and sent the message for reform and perform. He expressed confidence that Indian manufacturers would utilize the agreement to strengthen their capabilities, calling the FTA a major step toward building a confident, competitive and productive India.
साथियों, इस वर्ष का प्रारंभ बहुत ही पॉजिटिव नोट के साथ शुरू हुआ है। आत्मविश्वास भरा हिंदुस्तान आज विश्व के लिए आशा की किरण भी बना है, आकर्षण का केंद्र भी बना है।
During this session, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman tabled the economic survey in the Parliament, setting the stage for the Union Budget 2026-27, which will be presented on 1st of February. The economic survey projects India's economy to grow between 6.8 and 7.2% in the financial year 2027 and notes that India continues to be the world's fastest growing major economy for the fourth year in a row. On the social front, the survey states that targeted welfare schemes, economic reforms and expanded access to essential services have contributed to a reduction in poverty levels. And India and Saudi Arabia jointly condemned the Pahalgam terror attack and the Red Fort terror incident in the third India-Saudi Arabia Security Working Group on Wednesday in Riyadh. Both the parties condemned terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The two sides comprehensively reviewed the ongoing security cooperation. They discussed threats posed by terrorist groups globally and in their respective regions, a statement from India's Foreign Ministry said. The two sides shared views on enhancing cooperation in current and emerging challenges to counter terrorism, including countering extremism and radicalization. At least 3 armed terrorists opened fire on unarmed civilians, targeting them on the basis of religion in India's Pahalgam on April 22, 2025, killing 26 people in cold blood. Later on, November 10, a car bomb exploded near the Red Fort in New Delhi, killing at least 15 people and injuring several others. Meanwhile, residents of Ghizer district in Gilgit Baltistan held a protest against prolonged power outages recently and alleged unequal electricity distribution. We have a report.
Residents of Ghizer district in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit Baltistan recently staged a protest against prolonged power outages and accused authorities of discriminatory electricity distribution. Protesters alleged that while common residents face extreme load shedding and struggle even to light a bulb, government officials and select colonies enjoy uninterrupted power supply. Locals say the situation has disrupted daily life and forced people to rely on firewood in harsh winter conditions.
कम से कम बंदे के कपड़े तुस्तरी हो, घर के अंदर इतनी जुल्म नहीं होने चाहिए। अब देखें, अगर वो बिजली ठीक है, अगर उनके पास भी कमी रहती तो हम मान लेते हैं। उनके यहाँ पे टोटली मखसूस 200 घरानों के लिए अलग से एक ट्रांसफार्मर इन्होंने लगाए हैं, 200 या 300 का या 400 का जितना भी केवी ट्रांसफार्मर लगाए हैं, वहाँ से उनको सही तरीके से बिजली जा रही है, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे आम पब्लिक के लिए तो बिजली है ही नहीं। इस वक्त यहाँ पे बिजली न होने की वजह से बहुत सारे बच्चे इस वक्त ऑनलाइन पढ़ रहे हैं, वो ज़्यादा डिस्टर्ब हैं। बहुत सारे बच्चे इस वक्त ऑनलाइन कारोबार कर रहे हैं, वो बहुत एक बड़ी आबादी इस वक्त डाउन की तरफ शिफ्ट हो रही है खाली बिजली की वजह से।
Protesters also raised concerns over broader civic neglect, alleging that despite repeated complaints to local administration, no concrete action is taken. They warned that if authorities continue to ignore their demands, they will escalate protests.
And minority rights groups in Bangladesh have accused the government of failing to address widespread discrimination and persecution of religious minorities. Speaking to ANI, Neem Chandra Bhaumik, President of Bangladesh Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council, said Bangladesh's 1972 constitution established the country as a secular and democratic state, and any attempt to undermine those principles amounts to a violation of the nation's foundations. He said the council documented at least 522 incidents of persecution over the past year alone, while raising concern that many cases go unreported due to fear and lack of accountability. Bhaumik also accused the government of refusing to acknowledge the scale of the problem and investigate allegations. He said continued persecution has triggered a steady exodus of minorities. As Bangladesh heads toward national elections, minorities say they can participate only amid a safe and fair environment.
In our document, and it has been described in the last 1 year also, 522 incidents. These incidents actually what we have received, but large scale persecution and oppression is going on. All the things cannot be documented. So we want justice and we want action against those things. But the way government is behaving, they are not recognizing the problem. They are not even they didn't form one commission. Even large scale, due to persecution, oppression, large scale exodus is there. Because before 71, our percentage was 20%. Now it is government is claiming 10%. So a large scale exodus due to discrimination, oppression and persecution.
And the Taliban's latest criminal procedure code for courts has triggered widespread alarm among human rights groups and international observers. Reports suggest the Taliban-administered government has issued a 119-article document signed by Supreme Leader Hibatullah Akhundzada earlier this month and circulated to courts across Afghanistan. Critics say the new law divides Afghan society into rigid social classes, grants near immunity to religious clerics, and even legalizes slavery under the guise of religious justice. The controversial Article 9 divides Afghan society into 4 hierarchical classes: religious scholars, elites, middle-class citizens, and the lower class. Under the code, punishments for the same crime vary, not by seriousness of the offense, but by the social status of the accused. The code also explicitly recognizes slavery as a legal category. It repeatedly used the term gulam or slave, distinguishing between free persons and slaves when determining punishment. The law relies heavily on confessions, lacks protections for defense lawyers, and grants more powers to judges. Critics say the provision makes clerics untouchable while subjecting poorer Afghans to harsher penalties. The UN Special Rapporteur Richard Bennett has described the new legal framework as deeply troubling. Moving on. Porbandar, situated along the shores of the Arabian Sea in India's Gujarat, is emerging with a renewed tourism identity that blends natural beauty, heritage, and modern infrastructure. Long known for its historical significance, the coastal city is now drawing attention for its tourism-driven development initiatives. The seafront area has been developed while preserving the pristine character of Madhavpur beach and has become a major attraction for both tourists and local residents. The upgraded amenities and well-designed walking pathways have transformed the coastline into a vibrant public space. The decorative lighting in the evening enhances the visual appeal of the entire seafront, creating a lively and welcoming atmosphere. Porbandar's importance, however, goes beyond its coastline. As the birthplace of Mahatma Gandhi, the city holds a special place in India's historical narrative. Through the Gandhi circuit centered around Kirti Mandir, efforts are underway to highlight Porbandar's rich heritage for visitors from across the country and abroad.
અમે આ બીચ પર આવ્યા છે અમારા ગ્રુપ સાથે, અમે 10-15 જણા છે સાથે. બહુ જ મજા આવી. બીચ બહુ જ ચોખ્ખું છે, અહીંયા બધી એક્ટિવિટીઝ છે, એમાં બહુ મજા આવી. ATV રાઈડ છે, કેમલ રાઈડ છે, અને અમે બહુ બધા ફોટોઝ વિડીયોઝ લીધા. બહુ મજા આવી।
हमें ये द्वारका नगरी भी बहुत अच्छी लगी, ज्योतिर्लिंग के दर्शन भी बहुत अच्छे से हुए और हमने इस बीच पर आकर तो बहुत इंजॉय किया। लाइक इतना क्लीन बीच है, मुंबई से है बट मुंबई में इतना क्लीन नहीं होता है, बट यहाँ पर बहुत अच्छा लगा, तो हम धन्यवाद करते हैं गुजरात का।
And that's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.